Hi, I'm Larry London. This is Border Crossings. On today's show, we are joined by a band from Nashville, Tennessee called Airpark. Brothers Ben and Michael Ford stumbled on the name for their band after seeing a sign near an airport. The new EP is called Songs of Airpark, and the group Airpark will join us today with a live performance and the story behind their new EP. Stay tuned for Airpark, coming up on Border Crossings. Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. Today in our studios and on tour for a brand new EP, we'd like to welcome Airpark to Washington, D.C. The new EP is The Songs of Airpark. That's original. The Songs of Airpark.
We like classic titles. We've always gravitated towards them. I don't know why.
It's our vibe.
Were there other options that you're thinking of?
What else do we toss around? Well, so all right, we've released 2 EPs. Both were entitled. The first one's Early Works Volume 1, and the second one's Early Works Volume 2. So of course there's the question, how many volumes do we do? And we felt like, all right, 2 is probably good for now. So
well, 3 can be more songs of Airpark.
I know.
True.
Hit you with it? Yeah, it could go that way.
We thought about skipping 2 and just going straight to Volume 3. Kind of pulling
confuse your fans, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't get Volume 2. Well, we're glad to have you here in our studios. Welcome to Washington, D.C. First of all, introduce yourselves, because I understand you guys are brothers.
We are, yeah. I'm Ben Ford.
I'm Michael Ford Jr.
And who do we have on keyboards?
That's
Mark
Mr. Mark Sloan.
You're not a brother, but you're a brother. But you're not a brother.
Somebody,
Yes. An amazing
Somebody's
musician. Yeah.
And you guys get mistaken for being twins all the time? Is that what I
It
read?
does seem to happen a fair amount. I feel like we should just get the folklore
Just go with
going
it.
and
Say,
start
we're
going
twins.
with it.
Why
Basically
not?
twins,
Yeah.
basically.
We're a few years apart, but we're twins. Why
Yeah,
not?
exactly.
So how did you form this band, Airpark?
Well, Michael and I have always played music together since we were like 12 and 13 years old when we first started playing guitar, and been in and out of a lot of bands. And we started Airpark a couple years ago as a duo, and it's just gone from that, I guess. Would you like to add to that?
No, yeah, this has been kind of a way of life for us. Like Ben said, since we were 11 and 12 years old, we've been in bands. So this was the next step.
Were you
for us,
always in a
Airpark.
band together, or were you in bands of separate bands?
Mostly together. There was a period of time, like when I was doing my thing, Michael was doing his, and then it just
And we
felt
joined
too good
forces
to be
again.
playing
Yeah.
together, So it just
Well,
felt
a
right.
lot of times the brother thing puts a strain on the relationship. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Oasis and quite a
Oh, yeah.
number,
Totally.
Everly Brothers, and many brother bands have had
Yeah.
their difficulties over time. But how do you manage to make this work?
We always joke that we got all our fighting out when we were younger. Like we feel like we're very upfront with each other when it comes to like creative decisions and business stuff. But we do it in a way that's just, I don't know, respectful and I guess I feel like we just don't have the energy to like.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? We're just like, we're just here to create.
We've worked through all of our
music.
stuff, you know what I mean? We're at a great place where it's very like open and honest, just dialogue between us pretty much at all times,
Well,
So
you get
that keeps
along
it healthy,
well,
yeah.
as long as he has the last word.
Exactly. As long as I'm always right.
As long
we're
as you're
good.
right,
Yeah.
that's all. It works. Then it seems
exactly.
to work. Well, we're going to ask if you wouldn't mind doing a song for us, since you guys are ready to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to. We're going to do one off of Early Works Volume 1. The song's called All the Time.
When I was younger, I didn't mind. I didn't need it to materialize. Now I wanna see it with a naked eye. Now I think about it almost all of the time. All of the time, it's all of the time. All of the time, it's all of the time. It's all of the time. There you come to dreaming of the sunset slide. I still got the feeling when it should be gone. It's swirling around in some cryptic mist. I can almost see it when I hold my breath. All of the time, it's all of the time. All of the time, it's all of the time. Now I need it to materialize all of the time. turning needy, I don't think you're mine. I got more feelings than a newborn child. Now I only wanna see it fully magnified. Now I know I need it to be ocean-sized. All of the time, it's all of the time. All of the time, it's all of the time. Now I need it to materialize. All of the time.
We've got Airpark in our studios here on the Voice of America and on tour for the new EP, third EP.
Yes.
What about a full studio album? Is that in the plans?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we as artists or album people, like we love that you can paint like a much broader picture with it. And I think when the time feels right, we want to do a full length. But I think for now, right now, this feeling of releasing more frequent releases with smaller amounts of music seems to be what makes most sense to us right now, as far as trying to grow the band and get and stay on people's radars and grow the music. I think we feel like every 6 months or so, let's put out 3 or 4 songs, just kind of.
Yeah, and we've been doing that, and of course pairing that with a ton of touring as well, and it's been great. It's been very productive for us. So it's nice that the quick turnaround. It feels like, you know, sometimes you'll make a record or you'll make a recording, you have to sit on it for 6 months, 8 months, a year. Sometimes that's happened to us many times. But this feels like, you know, we'll go on tour, we'll come back from tour, we'll record for, you know, a week or so, go back out on tour, and then it feels like the music's out. So it's like as close to real time as you can get in music biz, I feel like.
And you made this in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
This EP.
We did, yeah. I think the whole thing was recorded and mixed in, 9 days or something?
Yeah.
So
About
we
9
did like
days,
a song a day, and then did a few days to mix it, and yeah, it was a blast. It was definitely, it pushed us. Like Michael and I probably work a little slower than that, but the producers we worked with, they did a good job of, like, in a very healthy way, encouraging us to, like, move a little quicker than we normally would. And I think we took a lot from it. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can easily overthink things in the studio. Tunnel vision is so real. You know, I mean, I think in any line of work it is. You can get so, like, you know, you have no perspective after a while. So
Right.
it's good to just like keep it flowing, trust your gut, and keep rolling. You know?
And you have mentioned that you were in different bands, both of you, you know, growing up through the process to get where you are today. Being in different bands must have affected or changed how you sound, how you approached music, how you played, how you wrote.
Yeah.
I mean, I would guess that what you're doing today is not what you did 6, 7 years ago. It's
Not
very
at all.
different.
Yes, yeah.
We've been really fortunate to have some great experiences through past projects, working with different producers and writers, and just also just being in the business for a while. I think with this project has been great. We've been able to bring all of our past knowledge from, you know, on the creative side and on the business side and apply it to what we're doing now. So it's been hugely beneficial for that reason, you know. Most importantly for the art, it's like we've gotten so lucky to write with different people and just be around great artists who are doing really well. So it's been helpful.
And I read where you guys are 70s influenced, a lot of your music.
Yeah, this new EP is Songs of Airpark is very 70s influence. Yeah.
Is that kind of your favorite era for music?
Currently, yeah.
Currently, for this EP it is. For the next one, it might be something different.
Yeah, you know, it's when we went in to record the new EP, there wasn't an intentionality necessarily like to make it 70s or whatnot. You know, we had these songs and we believed them, and the idea was just to go in and record and just see what happens. And for whatever reason, when we recorded the song called Devotion first, and that kind of took on a 70s feel, and that guided the rest of the process, and it just felt like the right approach for this grouping of songs. So we just let the songs kind of speak for themselves and let the production just follow what the song asks for, you know, and that's the way I wanted to go. But yeah, I do love the 70s. We're like huge into Todd Rundgren right now.
Now, you talked about the song Devotion. Is that the next song up on your playlist?
That's right.
Oh, you know,
What
what a good segue. Look at that, how we can just go right into this. So I'll let you guys do that song.
All right.
And I want to hear more about how you produced this album and why, of all places, Denver. But we'll find out after we check out Devotion from Airpark.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Rivulets flowing from my palms, of the Maria rolling off my tongue. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Sort of old chairs you carry on, with the shiny tube and lipstick drawn. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Ooh, some in my devotion. Ooh, some in my devotion. I didn't know why I was waiting. You're coming at me from a nowhere dream. Some magnetism or a strategy. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Picture your name as a palindrome. Said it so many times my mind got thrown. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Ooh, some in my devotion. Ooh, some in my devotion. Some in my devotion. Ooh, some in my devotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, all of my devotion. Ooh, some in my devotion. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why.
All right, that's the new single from Airpark. We've got Ben and Michael in our studios, and I can tell that sounds like the 70s. It sounds like almost America meets
Yeah.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm kind of hearing.
America was a big reference in the studio for us when.
Yeah, good ear. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we worked with Pat and Elena from a band called Tennis. They produced that song and the songs on Songs of Airpark, of course, in Denver. And that was a band that they brought up throughout the process. Like, do you guys like America? Have you heard this song? And so we would reference it. Throughout the recording for sure.
Carefree Highway, that's something.
Yeah,
you know.
oh for sure.
it.
But
Yeah.
how did you come up with the name Airpark? Did you guys live near some airstrip landing? Or
First guess, you got it.
first
yeah,
guess? Wow, what do you know?
Busted.
Look at that. Whew, that was
Yeah.
a stretch.
Nailed it. Yeah, we lived near one, and interestingly, at least to me, Michael was like, I want a one-word band name, and which is, it seems like a really obvious and easy thing to go about, but you'd be surprised. It's fairly difficult to find one that hasn't been spoken for, or and that still feels representative of yourself. And so yeah, we live next to this Airpark that was it's now been converted into like a recreational park. It flooded a while back, and they've now just turned it into like a big kind of recreational green space area. And it's like right down the street. And yeah, just, I don't know.
Yeah, I went up for a jog one day, and there was a Cornelia Fort Airpark sign on one of the buildings, and Cornelia Fort had fallen off. And so it just said Airpark on the sign, and it was really cool. It was kind of like falling apart.
Yeah,
and
the
like
A was like
decrepit.
turned sideways, and like eventually like each letter just kind of dropped off
Yeah.
as it like kept going. But yeah,
Yeah,
it,
so
like,
I was running by, and I was like, man, that would be a good band name. I was like, I gotta tell Ben about this. And so we thought about it for a few days, and we're like, all right, let's roll with this. Yeah. And it wasn't taken somehow, so it was like kind of a miracle. in
Yeah,
a
so
way.
where are you guys from originally?
Originally, we're from a suburb of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up there, and feel really thankful for that. We got exposed to like a lot of wonderful music early on, like with the jazz scene there, and just I don't know, that culture down there is pretty incredible. So that was like our earliest musical experiences were like our parents taking us to jazz fest and stuff, and so. Yeah.
Set the record straight. How do you correctly pronounce New Orleans? New Orleans or New Orleans or New
There's
Orleans?
a lot of debate about
I've heard.
this.
Yeah, there is. But you're from there, so
Yeah, we're big. I'm gonna cast a vote for just New Orleans.
Yeah,
I think
New
that's
Orleans.
that's how it sits.
You know,
best
someone's
with
not
me.
from there when they say New Orleans. You're like, okay, it's all good, but yeah.
New Orleans. Well, we've got Airpark in our studio, so you now call Nashville home.
That's right.
But you chose Denver, Colorado. Now, apart from marijuana being legal and the air being thin, why did you decide Denver would be a good place for us to go to record this new EP?
Well, as Michael mentioned, Pat and Elena of Tennis produced the record, and they live out in Denver, and their studios is there as well. And so we spoke with them about producing the record. We had sent some songs across, and they really liked them. And they invited us to come out and stay with them and make the EP. And yeah, it just happened to be in Denver. But yeah, I had a blast making it.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of love for Denver.
A lot of love.
So now it makes sense. Now they must
Yeah.
have told you we have food for 9 days.
Yeah.
So you had to make it in 9 days.
That's it.
So what did you enjoy about Denver? I mean, the air is thinner. It's a great city. It's surrounded by mountains. It looks like a beautiful place.
For us, it was just a great change of pace. Recording in Nashville is awesome. We do it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But
Music
sometimes-
city.
Yeah, I mean, there's like amazing studios and engineers and producers there. But sometimes it's nice just to change up the scenery and see how that affects the process.
Mm-hmm.
And it did in the best way, I think, with this EP. I don't know. It's just good to get away from any kind of distractions and just hunker down, focus on the music. And we worked at a pace where we could we'd be working a lot, but also have a little bit of downtime. So like we'd go out for a run or go out to eat. We could still enjoy the city for sure. And it was just really balanced and fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that bands get immersed in their environment when they're creating product, creating music, creating songs and albums and stuff. And it's always interesting to find out what you have to go through, what you do to really get into the flow of where you are into your environment. Because some people, go to a stream. Your producers will say, I want you to spend the day here. Go on a hike. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. So you kind of get the vibe for where you are. So where have you gotten some interesting influences for your music? Because you've been on tour for a while in a number of places. Where does your influence come from?
we have lots. A lot of times I'll find bands, via like something like Spotify or friends will just. I mean, I feel like a lot of the music I listen to is just word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone will be like, check out this track, and then I end up, loving this band.
Did you mean geographically though?
Geographically
sorry, yeah.
and everything, and just artists that inspire you, experiences that have inspired you, and geographically places you've been. If you could lump it all together,
So I should use the microphone, shouldn't I?
Why not?
I'm like leaning forward.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all of the above. I mean,
Mhm.
like we feel very fortunate to get to tour and we love it, and been to a lot of rad cities. We just spent the last 2 days in New York City. It's almost impossible not to be inspired by that place.
Do you have any songs that come out of your trip somewhere? You say, wow, when we were in, we got
Yes.
this. I got to write this song.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up. We were, this was, I guess, a while back now. We were on tour, and I actually got food poisoning. It was bad news.
That'll make a good song.
Yeah, well, right. Well, it kind of worked out. So Michael and I ended up, it's kind of a long story, but we ended up getting a hotel while the other guys drove back to Nashville because it was the last show of tour, and we ended up flying home. And I just needed a few days to get healthy. And in that time, Michael wrote 5 songs in the bathroom of the hotel.
It's like my favorite
And
place
it-
to write songs.
And it
I
ended up
love
being
writing songs in
a lot of my favorite of some of my favorite work he did came out of that, and I'm like, okay, I'd do it again for it.
So you had food poisoning, but you were in the
and
bathroom.
was
He was
rocking
writing
out
the song.
in the bathroom.
I know, right? How did that work out?
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
interesting.
Good deal for me, at least. No,
Yeah.
it's
Good
funny, man.
acoustics in the bathroom.
That's
That's what
right,
people
yes,
sing in the shower,
yes.
right? So.
Yeah. There's just something about being in a different place that's just inspiring. I'll literally take trips for the sake of going to write songs. Maybe a year or two ago, I went out to Portland. I love that city, Portland, Oregon. And I just rented an Airbnb, like a house or something out there, and I hung out for a week, and it was just amazing the ideas that came to me. It's like, well, this feels very much like me, but also doesn't feel like something I would have done if I was just at my home place or whatever, just like in Nashville. I just think it's good to put yourself outside of your comfort zone.
And you're on
see
an
where it
independent
flows.
label?
Yeah, we've been self-releasing through our own label
That's
that we
great.
started, and it's been really fun, and it's nice kind of getting to decide like, all right, we're gonna release here, and this is the album art. We don't like, it's just kind of rad to have the freedom and the ability just to see everything out exactly like you want, you know, and so we've been enjoying.
Yeah, if given the
enjoying that.
choice, major label, but you
Yeah.
lose control, or
Yeah.
keep control for a
Yeah.
smaller label.
I think there's definitely pros and cons. You know what I mean? Obviously, the major label has a lot of resources that maybe that self-releasing would not be available to us. But there's also like we get to have a bit more control over what we're putting out into the world and feel know that we're like being represented by the art we're putting out. So that's like a really
And on our timeline as well,
feeling.
that's how we've been doing these frequent releases. It's like we can just release stuff whenever we want.
What's next? I mean, I know this album just came out, but what are you guys talking about behind the scenes, behind the curtain?
behind the curtain.
Are you planning anything special, anything
we-
unique and different from Airpark?
Yeah. Well, we are
A
planning.
live album?
Oh,
Or
ooh,
something?
I like that.
See?
This is good.
I just paid for your trip here.
There we go. Okay. We're open to all those kinds of things. I think we're gonna still tour next year. We're gonna release this EP, and then we may even move to a more singles-based thing where we're just doing kind of like early Beatles style, like A side, B side. Just put singles out and kind of check that out and see how that goes. So, I don't know. Am I leaving anything out?
Just a ton of writing, and then the cool thing is that it's if you have this like grouping of songs together, we can you can just choose to release them however you want. So like with that, we could do like the singles thing, or if eventually feel like, all right, this would actually be a good record, then maybe we'll put out a full-length album. Who
And what do you
knows?
do when you come across writer's block, which happens to all artists at some point in your career? What do you do when you're faced with that dilemma?
I go to if I'm working on an idea and it's not flowing. I'll just try to go to a different song. I'll try to start working on something else. And a lot of times, if I can find momentum in an idea, then I can take that momentum back to the other one that I was struggling with. And that's a way to combat it. And then sometimes, honestly, it's like as simple as like if you're like working on something, you're just banging your head up against the wall, like trying to figure out like what is this? Like, why will this not come out? A lot of times, if I go for a walk or go for a run, I'll come back and then the idea will just be there. Like you know what I mean? It's
Yes,
funny how that
yes.
works. It's something about like stepping away from it and returning to it that can be really helpful. So,
And what comes first, the melody or the lyrics in the process for you guys?
melody always pretty much first. Like a lot of times we'll be on tour and Ben or I will get an idea for a lyric and we'll write it down in our our phone or whatnot. And a lot of times when I'll have a melody, I'll go back through my phone and on my notes section with all the like lyrical ideas, and I can apply some of these lyrics or ideas that I like from that notes section to the melody I'm working on. So
I love the stories
Yeah.
when songwriters tell about where an idea came. In your case, you said bathroom. You got a bunch of music. But some people get it in dreams in the middle of the night. It comes to you, you grab your phone and put
it's
it
like
in
Keith
the-
Richards, right? With
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Satisfaction, isn't that
That's
the
right.
story,
That's
how
right.
it goes?
Came in the middle of the night.
Amazing.
Well, it's great to have you guys here, and we're
Thank
going to
you.
talk a little bit more. But if you do one more song, we'd like to hear something live from Airpark.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna play a song called "Plenty to Pine For," and actually, this song is interesting in that this one started with the title first. Ben thought he's like, I have this idea. This song maybe like we could call a song called like "Plenty to Pine For," and you should try to write around that title. And it was cool because I'd never done that before. I'd always kind of just started with lines and just let that let a title kind of flow from there. But for this, it was kind of helped me break through to a different level of writing. I think starting with the title first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Darling, don't you leave me here and take the high road. One that bringing the new year with a reminder of how it's been still things as they were, and as the time goes, we'll look on new lovers with plenty to pine for, plenty to pine for. Don't make your mind up. Ooh. Darling, it's one night by no means forever. We'll count it down and drink champagne and then whatever. And you'll be sitting there with a healthy buzz, just laughing. For years to come, I will wonder why it couldn't happen. Plenty to pine for. Don't make your mind up. Plenty to pine for. Don't make your mind up. Ooh. Plenty to pine for. Oh yeah. Oh, make your mind up. Ooh.
Airpark, the new EP, Songs of Airpark. So what in the world gave you the idea for a title before the song? I mean, where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't remember how that hit me. Just, I guess the alliteration, maybe? The plenty to pine for? Yeah, I think that was it.
Boy, nothing like lobbing a grenade into your lap. You know, I got a song title,
Yeah.
write something.
I know.
Well,
The
it was-
chorus, no.
It was like a humble suggestion. I was just like, I don't know, that's gonna be a cool song title. And he was like, all right, let me see what I can do with it. And then, to Michael's credit, it's probably my favorite Airpark song that Michael's written. And you totally, you made it your own. And you can share what it's about a little bit.
Yeah, I had this. I don't know why the title reminded me of just for whatever reason, like reconnecting with an ex on New Year's Eve. I just thought that would be such an interesting place to write from for Plenty to Pine for. And so yeah, that's basically what the song's about, and how that's not a great idea.
And I think the entire EP is, or most of the EP is about confronting and dealing with conflict. Is that correct?
That's for the new EP.
The new EP, yeah.
Yeah, the new EP.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think that's, as anyone learns in life, like, that's just a part of life. And I think you got to have uncomfortable conversations sometimes and address things, or, and sometimes to save relationships, you have to be willing to do that. And that's just, we've encountered a lot of that, and like anyone does,
Yeah, I think it's something that we've, as we've grown older, we've become a lot more comfortable, addressing conflict and that kind of a thing. It's something that you grow and you learn, and so I think it's just been something on the forefront of our minds, something that like as we grow, like all right, like how do we communicate clearly and directly, but also, just I don't know, be concise as well. So
Where can people go to find out your tour schedule, find out more about you guys?
Sure,
Where do they need to go?
Airpark Band is our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So at Airpark Band is the handle, and then airparkband.com has
Your website,
everything else. Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, at Airpark Band on
Yeah.
Facebook. It's all there, and those 3 or 4 places you're good to go. And
Plans
of
for a
course,
world tour?
yeah, working on it.
Working on it.
I would love to.
it
Yeah,
almost feels like we've been on doing that for the last 2 years. I mean, we've done, I think, almost 200 shows in 2 years. So we've been really.
been really hitting it pretty hard. But yeah, we'd love to go abroad. I think we're looking into it. I hope we can make it happen sooner
Once
than
again,
later.
the website?
www.airparkband.com. airparkband.com.
Airparkband.com. Don't forget the band part of that. Airparkband.
Band. Yeah, airpark.com that's not.
Because if you do Airpark, you get that closed airfield with the sign that's hanging
exactly.
down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thanks so
Thanks
much.
for having
Pleasure
us.
to meet
Yeah,
you.
it was
Songs
blessed.
of Airpark from Airpark. My name is Larry London. This is Border Crossings.